Before we get into this episode, make sure you're subscribed to our channel. You can hit the notification button so you can get updated weekly on all of our latest content. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, tell us what you want to see next below.
Tell us about what you did last night.
Oh my God. First of all, driving all the way over here on the 405 and everything, I was just barfing in a box the whole way here, the whole way. I should stop drinking, but I'm not. Like, I'm probably not.
A vice, you know? I like my margaritas.
I like my margaritas, but I had a little too many margaritas last night for sure.
Well,
it was
kind
mom's
of a
night.
hero move to still like show up for the show. In that,
well, she didn't. She thought she would be fine because it's 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
But you know when you have an all day hangover and you just like I know like
if
where
I
you're
even
at.
smell alcohol at this age, I'm hungover for 2 weeks.
Oh man, I am done with it. It is just too much.
What time did you get home last night?
Oh, I didn't make it home last night.
Read between the lines, guys, whatever that means. Okay, what time did you wake up this morning? You're all an hour ago.
Yeah, I took naps through the day and I thought I could sleep off the hangover. And then I got in the car. I'm like, okay, I'm ready for the drive to the podcast. And then all of a sudden I'm like, where's that box? I have a box in my car for donations, a box of clothes. And I threw my clothes out and I was like, barfing in the box all the way here, all the way here.
I think one thing that people...
And now I don't know how, I don't have a place to put the box. Like, where do I put the box?
Oh.
It's like in my car. Like
Taylor will take it. He'll sell it on eBay.
Oh my God.
Kendra's throw up?
Sell it in jars.
That's a good idea.
You'll sell it in jars. Okay,
Jesus.
Taylor. Oh.
Wait, so there's a box of barf just sitting in the car
There's
right
a
now?
box of barf in my car right now.
Do you want Taylor to go take
Where
care
are
of
you
it?
parked? What floor?
D1, I think it's or
She
P1,
forgot. How can you remember where she's
I don't
parked?
know.
I wouldn't remember.
I'm like I'm in survival mode right now. I'm like, oh my God.
Well, we're gonna make this easy on you. Don't worry.
Oh yeah, no, I'm so happy to be here today.
Thanks for
yeah, it was survival getting here, but I really am happy to be here.
I think what's something that people love about you is that you are so honest and authentic. Whereas, like, you know what I'm talking about with celebrity, there's a lack of honesty, and I think that's why people are so attracted to you. So I love that you just started the podcast off with that.
Yeah, I think people are so caught up in, brand and like their own like branding and stuff like that they edit themselves a little much. I've never fucking given a shit.
Ever.
I'm like, what? They're like, what's your brand? I'm like, I don't fucking know. Like,
That's
Kendra.
your brand, though.
Like,
I think your brand is being honest. That's the brand.
Like, I don't know. Like, it's whatever it is. But yeah, like, I guess I have created a 20+ year career in the entertainment industry just by being me.
I think that's pretty cool. When you were a little girl, I told you I read your book. Were you always like that? Just honest, real? This is who you are?
Yeah, I've always been like this party girl and a girl that just like says it like it is. And, I hold, I wear my heart on my sleeve as well, though. So that comes with a cost.
You're also really athletic, right? Your whole life.
Athletic, girl.
You're sporty.
Oh my God, not anymore. I used to be. I mean, I could hit a ball again. I can hit a ball, and I can.
Why do I remember you doing sports all the time?
I can golf.
What sports did you play when you were a kid?
I played soccer and softball, and and I was a beach kid.
Okay, so we hit a ball like baseball.
Yeah, but I golf now. I just like walk the course, and I golf, and I drink my beer, and I smoke my cigar. I'm like an old guy
Michael
nowadays.
loves a cigar.
I love cigars.
They up your testosterone.
Really?
It is the best Viagra. If a guy's listening right now, smoke a cigar and go fuck your wife.
Oh.
I am telling you, there is something different when he smokes a cigar. Like, I think the blood flow to the penis.
Yeah,
oh my God.
Yeah, Google it. I'm not
there's
saying.
We're going there.
We're going there.
I also think there's just like something like masculine about smoking a cigar that like boosts your confidence. I don't know what it is. It's like a mindset. It relaxes you. And then, there's the nicotine and all that. But yeah, I think once in a while, if you get a good cigar, it's a good thing.
Literally, as of right now, I'm considered a cigar smoker.
You are?
No, he just started after I said that.
I'm going to go run out and buy some
cigars.
cigars.
Oh my God.
I'm telling you, it's like having sex with how do I say this nice? It's like an extra umph. Like it grows. I can feel it. I'm just telling you, it feels. It reminds me of a chia pet.
Listen, there have been some studies that
Wow.
say
It's like chia.
I never realized that.
Like
what happens to us women? Because I like my cigars. Like,
Well,
are we
I don't
all?
know.
I think
I'll
it's
have to have
probably
her-
good to have a little testosterone.
Yeah, it is good.
Little
It
blood
is
flow
good.
down there.
I like having my cigar. Like when I close a real estate deal, like that's when I love my cigar and my whiskey. And I'm just like a total old dude. Like just like
Winston Churchill over there.
cheers. It just feels like a successful moment. Like it's like a little bit of a high. I don't know.
Whenever I am celebrating something, it's the same thing. You go out, have the cigar, relax a bit.
Yeah.
It's like something about it, you know?
Yeah, and then they come home and I say, I'm ready.
Mm-hmm.
Don't
Yeah.
ask me another day because
Doesn't
you just
really
had a cigar.
matter if I
Now,
have the
are you
cigar.
are you super like horny during pregnancy or?
I definitely want to have sex. Like I love having orgasms and I think it's really good for the baby. And
I'm just gonna throw my brief out.
I do. I want to have orgasms all day long. But I'm gonna be honest, it's not the sexiest, most attractive I've ever felt. Certainly not. I'm not one of those women that's like, oh, this is so fun. We look like the road trip scene where I'm like squishing him over here and like bouncing up on him like a ball. Like I don't feel the most attractive I've ever
I
felt.
hear you.
You know what I mean?
But I think when you look back and you're like, I look so cute because you
I
do.
hope so. I
You
hope
look so cute. And then just wait. I mean, I don't like you get this flab like this like
I have the flab. It just comes with having babies.
afterwards.
Yeah.
Like, the
Yeah.
the baby pops out. Next year you have this like gross like extra skin and flab and that's when you feel like shit.
It's not. I think that people need to be more honest about how gnarly it is after you have a baby. Like it's gnarly on your body, on your
Yep.
psyche, on
Yep.
your boobs, on your vagina, on
Yep.
everything.
Yeah.
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 Takes a beating.
Yeah, so it's funny because like I have a 15-year-old boy and a 10-year-old girl and wow, like, I gained so much weight with both of them. I lost the weight. And then now all of a sudden during the holidays, I'm like I step on the scale. I'm like, "What the fuck? I am the same weight as I was when I was pregnant." I'm like, "What am I doing? What is going on?" It's the alcohol for sure.
I just think it's also the ebb and flow. Like for me, I don't always stay the same weight. It's like you ebb and flow and there's chapters and seasons. And the best thing that I did to get 60 pounds off post-pregnancy, I gained a
What'd
lot
you
of
do?
weight, is weightlifting.
Oh yeah.
Changed my
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
That changed my life.
Yep.
Changed the whole game.
Yep.
And then I eat a lot of meat and that really helped.
Mm-hmm.
But with my first pregnancy, I didn't even like recognize afterwards. It's like you feel like you're wearing almost like a fat suit.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
wild.
I hear you. I hear you.
Uh,
I had to get my skin removed because it was just like flat. Like
Did you do tummy tuck?
I did a tummy tuck. I did a full tummy tuck, and the skin was. And that's the first time I ever told anyone, publicly, which is I don't care.
Okay.
And my flat. I mean, I'm telling you, my skin was just hanging, and I had to get it removed. It was so bad.
A lot of women do it, and I think that it's cool that you're open about it because the problem is people like will see a celebrity and they're like, how'd she get fit so fast? And a lot of people are doing tummy tucks. Like that just is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel
It's
like you
true.
got to go to a good doctor.
You got to go to a good doctor.
you
Like
gotta
you got to, it's really, you can't gain weight on it because like it's tight and then you can't like,
What does it feel like when you gain weight on it?
it like tightens and it hurts a little bit.
Because
So
it like pulls on the it stretches the skin. Right?
yeah. So, but it's been a life changer for me, like after having the babies and, I love it. I love that I did it.
I'd like a mommy makeover when I'm done having kids. Like
Yeah. Would you do like vaginal rejuvenation? Stuff
Fuck
like that?
yeah.
I want to do that.
Okay, there's this guy. He's a friend of mine. I'm going to put you in touch with him. He is the vagina whisperer.
Are you serious?
He literally, so he like makes over princes and princesses and
Is he over in Beverly? Is he over on Sunset?
What's
no,
that? What's
he's
that
in
meme?
he's in Houston and Palm
What's
Beach.
that meme where like it shows the guy and it's like you're probably wondering how I got here.
Dr. Amir is the vagina whisperer and he makes the vagina look like it's 18.
Wow. Okay.
You should see it. Like it's wild.
I got a consultation one day and I was like, what would I rather do? Would I rather do a little mini facelift or would I redo my vagina. I'm like, ooh, because I'm on a budget here. So
that's
I'm like, which one am I gonna go for? Or get my boobs removed. And I'm like, I love my boobs too much. So I'm like, what else? What am I gonna use this money for? Am I gonna get?
So which one's more important to you?
So I went and got a consultation for the vagina
and
over the face. And I'm like, I think, and he's like, so what would you like? Would you like an 18-year-old vagina or a 21-year-old vagina? And I'm like, actually, he said 16. He goes, would you like a 16-year-old vagina or would you like a 18-year-old vagina? And I didn't know if that was appropriate, so I lied about the first time. So I'm like, oh, that's so weird.
Let me ask Michael and Taylor, the guys in the room.
I'm not touching this fucking
anyone
question.
ever
Okay,
come
let's
in
ask
and
Taylor. Taylor, would you rather us get a little lower facelift or a little vagina lift?
Well, I guess it depends on who's asking and what
Taylor's
their face
such
looks
a liar.
like.
No, Taylor, what's the answer that I know what you're going to say. Be honest.
So you're trying to say that this
Not
hypothetical
Kendra
person
specifically. I mean this hypothetical person. Yeah.
has she's not a looker, but downstairs.
No, she's a looker.
Okay. So if that's the case, then yeah, then sure.
Sure what?
Yes.
Yes to what?
I'm just dodging the question, Lauren.
The vagina.
The vagina.
There are moments in life as a man when you gotta dodge and weave.
But
and
everyone
move.
in Hollywood is getting, and I was talking about this at a conference the other day. They're getting lower facelifts and no one's saying anything.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing now. Everyone's
Yeah.
doing in secret.
Imagine
Yeah.
though if you were a husband and you didn't know your wife did it, and all of a sudden you start to have sex and you're like, whoa, babe, what'd you do?
But it's like I've asked people that have done it before, and they're like, women are like, oh my god, it changed my life, because they
Okay.
they really redo it so that you get the ultimate pleasure.
And also they like do something to the muscle. So
Yeah.
it's like they restore the muscle.
Ooh,
I'm just telling
I'm
you.
so interested in it.
Honestly,
It's at
I'm gonna make
Taylor at NYC Gyno is the guy.
Okay.
He's come on the podcast. He's great.
Okay.
He showed us like he brought vaginas.
Yeah.
He showed us the before and after of like the
Wow.
silicone badges.
Wow.
It was interesting.
Wow. Does he like cut off the
Cuts
hanging
it off.
things?
Yeah, he cuts everything off.
That's great.
You want to go for steak tonight?
Yeah, the roast beef.
almost choked.
I've got a statement to make. I was gonna say, I don't care how loose a girl's vagina is. I like her for her.
That is
Oh,
really cute,
That's
Taylor.
that's honest. In my mind, I could never be so shallow. I'd be like, oh, like I like, but her vagina's a little too loose for me.
Are you single?
Prince Charming.
I am single.
Single.
I've been single for 7 years now, or like I've been like divorced and like single for like 7 years. I've explored little things here and there, but like I have not like been in a relationship for 7 years.
What does it take to like be your boyfriend? Like, what are your requirements?
I'm gonna have to it's about me now, right? So it's more about like I'm so used to being single now.
What are your like things that you have to date you, to like be your boyfriend?
It's gonna have to take it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot. Like I'm not settling for, whatever, Joe Schmo,
I get it.
I'm so used to being single now. Like you actually get used to it. So I wasn't used to it the first few years after divorce, but now I am. And now I look at men and I'm like, I don't know. Like I freak out thinking about commitment and, committing to the wrong person, or like, it getting boring even. I get really nervous about life getting boring, So like, even though like I loved my marriage with my ex-husband, I loved it so much. It's just that like, what is life telling me now? Like, I have to really be honest with myself nowadays, rather than like go with the flow of society. Like, oh, I guess I'm supposed to find a man. Da, da, da. But like, I think I'm really used to it, and to the point where I'm so satisfied with my own self. Now I get around a little bit, and I have some boy toys out there, but that's all that they are,
It's on your terms.
It's on my terms. When I don't have my kids 1 week or one night or whatever it is, and I just have fun. I'm just trying to enjoy as much as I possibly can. Now, when and I do like my space. I like to be messy when I'm kind of like, I'm not an type person. I'm not an OCD person. So I don't want someone like nagging me or, the person has to have fun. The person has to be a fun person. Or I get bored. So it's going to be a long process to find that right person. It's going to be a long.
I also think you were in a relationship so young that was like, had a microscope on it.
No.
And then from there, you went and got married.
What age did you move to LA and move into the Playboy Mansion?
18 years old.
That is the fact that you were 18. It feels like you were 21.
I know.
Like when you look back on it, to me.
Because we used to watch the show, right? That was like one of the.
We didn't. Such a good show. I also watched Kendra on Top though too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I watched all of them.
But yeah, you're right. It's you wouldn't think like, oh, those people are only 18 at the time.
Well, I was.
Yeah. No, I know, but I'm just saying
not the other two. Yeah, she was the youngest.
How old are the other ones?
Like in like 20s, in the 20s.
If you were to knowing everything you know after everything you've been through, and you were to tell your 18-year-old self something, what would you tell her?
You know what? You're doing the right thing. You're on the right track. You're doing the right thing. And even my closest like friends that are like godly or like people that go to church or like my very, very amazing real estate partner. Like they know I struggle with some shame and regret a little bit in life, but I'm like, what else was I supposed to do? I was 18. I was about to get knocked up by this like 20-something-year-old, this guy, and it was a choice I had to make. Was I gonna, be a stripper in San Diego and get knocked up by this guy, like, or take this one-way ticket to LA and move into the Playboy Mansion? And come on.
Meaning like at the time in San Diego, your circumstances were that you would have made that decision.
Those were the only two choices I had in my life at that moment. I didn't have college. I had none of that. So I had to make the right decision. I'm like, you know what? I know myself. I know who I am and I know myself and I know I can survive. Let's take that trip to LA and never look back.
And were your parents in your life at that time, or and what kind of relationship did you have?
I had pretty problematic relationships with my during my upbringing.
Okay.
So I never really, I was a runaway. I pretty much, I've been alone. I've been on my own for a long time, making decisions, and being all crazy and stuff like that. So when I turned 18 and I moved out, like I had this option to get pregnant and like strip, which was getting really, old after a few months. Finally, Hugh Hefner calls one day and was like, hi, this is Hugh Hefner. Would you like to move into the Playboy Mansion and be one of my girlfriends? I was like, wait, what?
How did he find you?
So while I was living with this boy in San Diego, I did this photo shoot, and this photographer sent my photo into the Playboy Mansion and to the Playboy, and I had no idea. And next thing you know, I get this call, hi, would you, and then long story short, I found out what happened. Like the rumor was that Hef walked by and there was only one photo left out of this pile of photos, and it was mine. And he walked by and he picks it up and he says, who's this girl? So that was the story on his end. And I'm so grateful for that opportunity. It was, for me, amazing. And it was healthy for me. It was happy for me. I was safe. And, it's taboo to the world because they don't really know what really, went on there. There's only, in my opinion, in my perspective, is only one party every few months. And the rest was like, okay, we all had sex with Hugh Hefner once a week. And that's the taboo, is that we had sex with a 7-8-year-old.
Did it feel like a transaction in order to be in that environment?
It definitely felt like a transaction, but I was willing to take it.
Well, I also think
and I'm happy I did.
People have to see the other perspective, which is stripping is probably feels like a transaction too. It's almost like death by a thousand cuts with stripping. It sounds like you were kind of like, I'd rather go the Hugh Hefner route and not have to do it every single night.
Exactly. I just took that one way. I was 18. I took that one-way ticket, never looked back, and it was the best decision of my life. And living at the mansion for me was a safe environment. It was a healthy environment. I got room service 24/7. I could eat whatever I wanted, and I would eat healthy. I would have chefs making me salads like every, 5 times a day, like anything I wanted, I got. And the parties were fun. They weren't even I've been to worse parties outside of the mansion than I ever did at the mansion. Like, parties were not that crazy compared to parties I've been to like afterwards.
It's so interesting because two people can have the same, maybe not same, but similar experience. And we've had other people come on the show who were a part of that.
Yeah,
and they had a different experience.
Yeah.
And it sounds like you looked at it as almost like you felt almost like secure.
Oh, I couldn't have been happier, but I knew it was not going to be a forever thing. So I had to figure out what I was going to do afterwards. So I'm like, this isn't going to last forever. Living at a Playboy Mansion is not lasting. Like, what am I going to do afterwards? So I started setting myself up. I started booking my own work, and I hustled my ass off to, get my new show, to book appearances around the world, shows. I was just hustling.
And you guys, the people don't realize how much the filming is like. It's all day, right?
The filming was the filming was a lot.
A lot of work.
We did signings. I have bad experience when it comes to the business side of things. Not Hef though. Hef was a very awesome guy to me.
If you were to describe Hef to someone who had never met him, how would you describe him?
He was a very, very, he was a generous, nice person. A very nice person. I don't see him in any other way. He was just a very nice person to me.
And what about the other girls at the mansion? What was that like, having all these different personality types?
That's the part that was hard.
Yeah.
I wasn't really a girl's girl at that point in life. I was more of a like a guy's girl.
I get that. I'm not a sleepover girl. I get it.
And so we never really bonded. I was 18 and they were like, and there was 2 and then me. They were like, do. I'm like this, right? I was always the third wheel. So it was a little bit, it was uncomfortable a lot of the times. It felt really weird. Like I felt like I didn't fit in, and then I just decided just to go with that during the show process. I'm like, well, I definitely don't fit in. I'm just going to be me and see how this works. And rather than try to fit in and be like, like I felt like I was a complete odd man out of the whole situation, even though I was like enjoying the ride.
You have friends though that did, like I saw on your show, like Jessica Hall was on there with you. Like you made friends.
Yeah, I did. Jessica is my best friend.
Yeah.
She's an amazing friend. She knows everything I've been through. She knows all the things. She knows all the truth. She's seen it all. She's seen it from her perspective, everything. So it's just nice to have her in my corner and be there. I have nothing but good things to say about the other 2. I have nothing bad to say about them. There's nothing bad to say. So I'm not a negative person like that. But I have my right to have that experience of feeling left out, and like I felt the young one, and like I felt like completely like I didn't have friends other than Jessica that came in every now and then.
So how would you, what's a typical day when you're living there? Like, how would you occupy your time when you weren't filming?
Work out, running canyons, spin class. All I did was work out and eat, And I would be like preparing for the next party or something. Like, what am I gonna wear for the next party? That took a week out of the time. What else? Like, it was like heaven. Like, it was a heavenly experience for me. Like, there couldn't have been a better experience. And, there's two things that can be right. Like, people are like, how can you say that when you have a daughter or whatever? Like, I've heard people, say, how can you, like, what would you tell your daughter or whatever? And I'm sitting here like, two things can be right. I had to do what I had to do. I had to survive. I was in a survival mode. I chose what I chose. I made the choice to move into the Playboy Mansion, have sex for money with Hugh Hefner, and I actually lived an amazing 5 years of my life. I have no regret. But to tell my daughter, like, oh, like, what would I tell her? It's just like, I wouldn't want her to be in that position of having to choose that.
Like, you've created life circumstances for her where she doesn't need to make that decision between stripping or that.
I'm already talking to her about college. I'm like, she's 10. I'm like, you're going to college. Like, so there's like big changes. There are definitely, I'm rewiring certain things well,
it just sounds like she has more options than you.
Definitely.
Because of what you've done.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. I had to do what I had to do, and I have no regrets about that. And I honestly cannot say anything bad about my experience living there. My choices were mine. And to be honest with you, like, the sex was blah. It was so lame. And I wish and it was like, I feel like
he wasn't smoking cigars.
I felt like I was robbed of like an experience or something. Like, someone last night, this new guy that I met, who I kind of like, he's like, I would have guessed this. I never had an orgy there. I've never had an orgy there.
Wait,
it was
what?
just like, no.
Is it like you've never had one, or they just weren't happening there?
It just wasn't happening.
It's like those one-on-one activities.
Era of being there. So like, every now and then I'm like, there's something lacking in my life. Maybe I need to experience an orgy or something.
Wait, the way I imagine it in my head is not that. There was not orgies.
I've never had an orgy at the Playboy Mansion.
Damn.
Mm-mm. Nope. Now, it was a train.
Wait. What's the difference between a train and an orgy?
A train means the man goes down and fucks one girl after the other, correct? And an orgy is like a big plethora of just women and men.
The girls weren't hooking up with each other. It was just a train.
And I feel robbed of an experience. Like, nowadays, I'm like, geez, I feel like I should have been able to experience that at least one time in my life.
Yeah.
But are people like...
No, that would... I have to say, like, if I was at the Playboy Mansion having sex, the girls are so beautiful. Like, I'd be like, bye, Hugh.
I know, but everybody was like,
I don't think you get that option, Lauren. I think the room service ends at that point.
That in my head is how it goes.
I think the chef salads end if you say no.
So you don't get to hook up with other girls. You just have to get, like, fucked by half.
That's pretty much it. And that was it. And we each had like 1 minute to like do our thing, and then the clock was right there, and I was like, 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay. Time for some French fries.
If you guys were having sex with a girl and she was looking at the clock like Kendra, saying 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, I get to have some French fries, what would that do to your egos?
Did a big bullhorn go off when the clock hit 0?
Taylor, your clock would only say 20 seconds, because let's be honest with yourself.
Put a minute up on the clock. Let's do it.
How do you know who goes last?
Oh, we all knew. It was like a routine.
It's like a dance routine. It's like, this person's going to go first?
Yeah.
Is
you draw
it
straws.
Youngest to oldest?
It's like, girlfriend 1 goes now, and then girlfriend 2 waits for her, and then girlfriend 3 was like third, and then
wait, how does he? Hold on. I have a question about this. How does he? So he finishes like 5 times?
No,
that's what I'm saying. Who goes last?
Yeah.
Do you
Wait,
not
no,
get,
no, no,
do you
I
not
don't-
get what I'm putting
I don't
down
know.
here?
No,
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Like who's
The last person
one
is the
when
one to
final
finish.
bell
Oh,
goes out?
I got it. So he's not finishing in each girl.
No.
I hope my
This
dad's
guy's-
not
You
listening.
think this guy's going multiple times in 1 minute and recovering in a minute? And
That's
going
what I
again?
thought, kind of. So
That's
it's
like soup God.
so
That
he's
would be
just
like-
he's trying different flavors, and then he's finishing the grand finale.
Yeah, pretty much.
Did he
Wow.
ever
Yeah.
just like take one and go, I'm just gonna finish with this one and not and the other, leaving the other girls
And
and
then you're
waiting?
like,
It
I
was
get
a
my french fries.
routine every time. It was the same routine. And no girls I never got with there was maybe one time this Russian girl came in and she was like, I just want to eat you. I'm like, ooh, hey, I don't know where you came from, but yeah.
That
it's
sounds
like,
spicy.
that
That sounds better
that's
than
as close as it got, but
God. The way I imagine it in my head sounds so different. I could
See?
do like a.
I did not
movie.
imagine like a shot clock. I did not imagine that. That
No, I
seems
thought
like
it
a lot
was
of
like
pressure.
I thought there was like girls everywhere dancing, having fun. Like it was like an interactive
But is
like
this, let me-
experience.
is this routine down to like the day, the hour, same every week, or is it just like
yeah, he was
on a whim?
pretty anal.
we would go out once a week to like a bar or a restaurant, and then he'd pop his little Viagra before he left. It was like routine because it had to be because of the Viagra.
All right, I get
You
it.
know what it also sounds like talking to you? It seems like he was like your true friend in the mansion.
He was a great friend to me.
Yeah.
We loved each other in a different way. Like I was not dating Hugh Hefner. Come on, I had like boys. Like I had boyfriends. I had so many boyfriends.
How can you not? You had to have fun.
Yeah, I had to. So
Looking
that's
the way you look.
But that's why I was ready for marriage at that time, because I was like, God, like I've already dated. I went through my real dating process while I was living at the mansion, and never really got out, but I definitely had my fun.
Quick break to talk about one of our favorite partners, and that is Armra Colostrum. We live in an environment our biology was never designed for. EMFs, artificial light, seed oils, microplastics, endocrine disruptors, chronic stress and disease, and so much more. We're constantly having to battle off all of these things that our evolution just never accounted for. This is why Lauren and I love Armra Colostrum so much. What if I told you there was a single supplement that you could take every single day with water or even on its own that would strengthen your immune system, fortify your gut health, ignite metabolism, vitalize hair growth, enhance skin radiance, and fuel performance and recovery? Well, that supplement exists, and it is Armra Colostrum. Ever since we've had the founder of Armra on this podcast to learn all about the amazing things they're doing over there, we have been adamant customers. We use our own code, we shop, we take the product every single day. Our dogs take it, our kids take it, Lauren and I take it, and we absolutely love it. Like I said earlier, all of these modern assaults disrupt cellular signaling, negatively impacting gut health and accelerating aging. Armra Colostrum revives cellular signaling, bolstering our health from within to defend against everyday threats. And colostrum is nature's first whole food with over 400 bioactive nutrients that work at the cellular level to reactivate your body's innate capacity to regenerate and thrive. What I love about this product is it's a simple powder. It comes in these to-go packets or in a big tub that you can just add to water or even take right out of the scooper. It tastes almost like a little milk dud, and we really enjoy it. Of course, we've worked out a special offer for our audience. Receive 15% off your first order. Go to tryarmra.com/skinny or enter skinny to get 15% off your first order. That's tryarmra.com/skinny. Let's talk about Symbiotica. Finding trustworthy, clean, and effective supplements these days is hard. It is way too hard. Too many brands hide behind fillers, mystery additives, and fake natural flavors. But here's the thing. Caring for your body shouldn't be that hard. This is why Lauren and I have been lifelong fans of Symbiotica. We have had the founders of Symbiotica on this podcast, I think 5 or 6 times. They may hold the record because there's such a wide assortment of health and wellness topics that we can cover with them. And also because they are doing incredible things when it comes to adding high quality supplements and vitamins to our everyday lives. That's why we absolutely love telling people all about Symbiotica. Symbiotica is changing the game with clean, science-backed supplements, and this is wellness in its most absorbable form. For the mothers and the fathers listening, Mother's Day is coming up. Think about taking care of yourself a little bit more with Symbiotica. They have such an incredible assortment of products. I personally love their magnesium L-threonate. You can add it to coffee. Everyone is not getting nearly enough magnesium. Their vitamin C is one of the best on the market. I take it when I travel. I take it every day. I just feel great knowing that I'm getting the right vitamin C into my system. They also have incredible products for sleep and overall health and energy. I think they make one of the best vitamin D3 products on the market, as well as one of the best vitamin Bs. What I love about their products is most are liposomal delivery, which is going to help your body absorb the nutrient supplements, vitamins much better. And lucky for us, we have a special discount so you can give it a try. Go to Symbiotica.com/TSC to get 20% off plus free shipping. That's CYMBIOTIKA.com/TSC for 20% off plus free shipping. One of the breakout products in the last year for Lauren and I is definitely Fatty 15. We have had the founder of Fatty 15, Dr. Stephanie Van Watson, on this podcast. And as soon as we spoke to her, we knew we were onto something with her groundbreaking C15 product, also known as Fatty 15. And that is why I'm so excited to continue sharing with you the incredible scientific breakthrough to support our long-term health and wellness. C15 is the first essential fatty acid to be discovered in 90 years. And get this, studies have confirmed that it's 3 times better, broader, and safer than omega-3. The origin story is a crazy story. Fatty 15 co-founder Dr. Stephanie Van Watson discovered C15 as the first essential fatty acid to be found in over 90 years while working with the U.S. Navy to continually improve the health and welfare of aging dolphins. If this sounds crazy, I highly suggest you search Dr. Stephanie Van Watson, Fatty 15, The Skinny Confidential, and listen to the first episode we did with her. We give so much context behind this story. But long story short, it's pretty simple. Essential nutrients keep our cells healthy, which keeps us healthy. If you want to get sciencey about it, studies show that C15 works by strengthening our cells, improving our mitochondrial function, and protecting us against damaging free radicals. The result, better long-term metabolic, liver, and heart health, which means you're going to age more gracefully and you're going to feel better along the way. It turns out many of us are deficient in C15, which is why we have weaker cells, and this is why it's so important to supplement with it. So check them out. Fatty 15 is on a mission to replenish your C15 levels and restore your long-term health. You can get an additional 15% off their 90-day subscription starter kit by going to fatty15.com/skinny and using code skinny at checkout.
How do you meet your first husband when you're at the mansion? Was that simultaneous?
He was there. Yeah, he went to the mansion to play. He played the Playboy golf tournament. And we met then. We met then.
Did you like him right away?
I loved him right away.
Wow.
I loved him. I knew he was the father of my kids. I knew it.
What does he say? He's like, you're dating Hugh Hefner, or he didn't care?
No. He didn't. There was something there, and nothing else mattered. So, yeah. But see, yeah. Then later on, we had a great marriage. We got divorced 7 years ago, and that took me down to my knees. It took me down into the darkest, deepest depression. So, and that was just because there's a lot of there were problems that came along with the decision I made to move into the Playboy Mansion. Doesn't mean I had a bad time. It meant that there were consequences later on down the line.
Yeah.
Mentally, and doing the TV shows and stuff like that. I struggled with a lot of PTSD, just being, I had years where paparazzi were just on me.
I was going to ask what would happen when you guys would go out publicly at that time. Because I don't, for the younger people, when you went on a TV show like that in the past, it was tabloids. It was everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So
do you
it's
remember
an invasion.
what it was like when you guys would go out?
Yeah. We would go out, and we were the hot bunch at the time, and we would go do signings, and people were in love with us, for a period of time. Are you talking about the Playboy girls?
No, I'm just talking about when you guys would go out with Hef and
with Hef. Yeah.
And what would happen from a paparazzi stuff, because you said you have PTSD from
paparazzi never popped up while I was, thank God, because I would have got caught with all the guys I was with. So the paparazzi only popped up after I left the Playboy Mansion.
Okay.
So that's when the paparazzi started following me, and they started really getting it was intense amount of paparazzi on me right when I left. And so right when I got pregnant right away and got married right away. It was huge news. This girl from Playboy is now married, having a kid. We got to get the first pictures. We got to, so that happened for years. And later on, I'm telling you, 2 years ago, I had this horrible psychotic breakdown. I had PTSD, I had severe depression, darkness, and I don't know where it came from. It was real PTSD. I was I thought I was hearing cameras. I was oh my God. And, now I'm not filming anymore and and the paparazzi are barely on me. But every now and then I'm like, oh my God, I hear them. I hear them. It's like, it created some pretty intense mental issues.
Well, I think what you've been through is so unique. It's not like you can like call a friend and like explain it to someone. Like
nobody relates.
You can't explain it to anyone. Like
no, and nobody has empathy for a celebrity. No, and not a lot of people. You can't like talk about it. You can't really talk about it because people are like, oh, that's what she signed up for. Oh, that's blah blah blah.
How can you know what you signed up for at 18?
Yeah. So, I understand all that, but it did. I'm just here to tell my story that I ended up with some mental issues afterwards. So.
And how did you know that you had mental issues, and how did you know how to solve the mental issues?
There's only one way, and that was to the hospital. I had to go to the hospital, and I stayed. I was in the hospital for a few days, and I just slept, and I just slept, and I slept, and it was the best sleep I needed in a long time. And then I had to get some intense therapy, and some counseling, and some psychiatry, and it was like a lot of work to like rehab my brain. My brain was in such distress. And so I did that, and I committed myself, and I did the work. And so now I feel a lot better, a lot better.
Feel relief.
Yeah, definitely. I feel great. I feel great now.
Sometimes I think people, and I don't know if this was your experience, but like even having babies, it can show up years later. Like the postpartum mixed with everything you've gone through and the post-traumatic stress, it's like a perfect storm.
Yeah, definitely. My kids, like, yeah, I did struggle a little bit with some postpartum depression. I got back on my feet after that, but there was nothing like what I experienced a couple of years ago, like 2 years ago now. It was the most intense, the scariest. I went through psychosis, and I was just like, I didn't know where I was. I didn't know what was going on. I thought everyone was an actor, because when we were filming, everyone played a part and stuff like that. So there was just like this horrible state of mind I was in, wherever I thought everybody was like after me, or like, it was so scary.
The reason I like doing the show is because we get to talk to people and hear their story and their intention in long form content. So you can really understand a person. It makes sense to me that your nervous system when you're a little girl is in fight or flight. And then you move to the Playboy Mansion and you're in fight or flight in a different way. And then you marry Hank and the paparazzi's following you everywhere and you're pregnant. And I can only imagine that energy
when
in
you're
your
still
face.
in your adolescence.
Like it makes, to me, it's like, I can totally see how you could have a psychotic break from your nervous system being so burnt out.
Definitely.
It makes sense.
Definitely. And then, but the one thing I'll tell you, and I'm not a religious person, but the one thing that got me up off the ground is the thought of God. So, and I'm not a religious person. Like I have my fun. Like I'm like more, there's the angel and the devil every day on my, in my life. But God, like, the thought of God really was a great coping mechanism for me. And I really leaned on that and found a Bible study group, and it felt very comforting. It felt very calm. It felt so positive. It was so nice. And it was a group of women. It felt like a bunch of moms that were like nurturing me.
Do you say you're not religious because maybe a part of you feels like you're not worthy of being welcomed into that faith?
It's a good question. It's a really good question. I don't know if I could commit to the rules of the Bible and all that stuff. So I'm a fun person, and I feel like I sin too much.
Because the reason I asked it in that way is it sounds like you have a picture in your head of somebody who would fit the religion or religious profile. And like maybe in your mind you feel like you don't fit that profile. But I think if you're asking for God's help, that it's...
I'm going through a spiritual war for sure. It's definitely what I'm going through at the moment. Like, I'm probably, because I don't go to Bible study anymore because I felt guilty. certain things that I had to go and do, like, which is have sex with a guy one night. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to go to Bible study today. I don't want to face this. Like, it just, I don't know. I sin too much to like, but I have these books, you know, these God books, and with these positive messages. And it really, every morning I wake up, I read this book, and it's just so nice. And it really gets me through the day.
I also think with being religious or spiritual, like sometimes it doesn't have to be like a group thing. Like sometimes you can just wake up in the morning and just be alone with it. Like,
Yeah.
and sometimes that's just comforting, like
Yep.
you're saying in itself.
Yep. Exactly. And it's really pulled me out of a dark place, the thought of God, and having a relationship with God. It's really pulled me out of a dark place, and it's, you know, and I now know how to cope during certain times now.
I think that's like a really healthy way to think about spirituality or religion. Like my problem with that area is when people get self-righteous with it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think like that's an unhealthy way
Sure.
to have a relationship with spirituality or religion. And when you think that you're like better than because
I
of that,
agree.
but I think the way you're viewing it, like
Mm-hmm.
I think that's how most, if I could wave a wand, that's how I wish more people would look at
Mhm.
spirituality and religion. It's like, it's something that's helping you cope with life and get through life in
Yeah.
a positive way,
Definitely.
not a perch where you can stand and judge others.
Definitely. Like, I feel so alone every day of my life. I don't have, you know, at the moment, I have no relationship with either parent. Like, I just have my kids and myself and a few amazing friends and God. And it's just, you know, God is very important now in my life. It's very important, but not that I'm going to be changing into, and, you know, morphing into this like God, like nun or something. Like that's the opposite.
I don't get why you just simultaneously like can't be both. Like, why can't you have fun and pop puss, but also religious and spiritual? I don't get why it can't be a little bit more like fluid.
Because in my opinion, I think that they're basically, I think what they're saying is you follow the rules, you're going to be at the ultimate happiness. Like, you're going to be at the ultimate joy of your life. So I can understand that. Like, okay, I guess I have to find a man at some point and just commit. And, you know, and that guy, I do want the guy to have a faith base. I want the guy to be faith-based, not religious, but someone who has the same idea, like has a positive idea of God. So that's one thing that has to happen.
I
to
think
date
you
me.
might meet someone in church. I'm predicting it. I'm going to give you my clairvoyance. I think you're going to meet someone in church, and I think it's going to surprise you.
Okay.
That's what my
You have
pregnancy.
this like vision or
Mhm.
something.
I think you're going to meet someone in church, and it's going to be like it's going to be so opposite than your past experiences that it's going to be like shocking to you. It's
Yeah.
going to surprise you. I don't know why. I think she's going to be.
It's going to have to come through the church doors
Something.
for someone to get to me. I'll tell you. Like, I have sex every now and then, but to have a relationship with me and my kids, I think that person's going to have to come through the church doors.
I don't like. I think it's great to have sex if you're single. If I was single,
Yeah.
you have
Yeah.
like have sex if you want to have sex.
I agree.
You know what I mean? Test out different flavors.
Yeah, I agree. Trust me, I've gotten some good, you know.
Careful,
and
Taylor's getting excited.
Yeah,
He's getting
yeah,
excited.
yeah. But I've had my fun.
So yesterday I went to a baseball game. I was supporting my best friend's son, and I brought brownies and I brought orange slices, and I put them in my Caraway Tupperware. And I was so excited about this because it's one of the only non-toxic Tupperwares on the market. So I already use their cookware. You guys know this. I'm a huge fan of their pans. I make eggs in them every single day for my kids. We use their pots for popcorn. We make bone broth in their pots. I use their baking sheets to make cookies. But I have been really into the Tupperware. And that is because I'm becoming like a snack mom. So between Zaza and town school and the baseball games, I have been bringing snacks, and I bring them in the Tupperware. The Tupperware is really sturdy, high quality Tupperware, but most importantly, and this is important to me as a mother, it's non-toxic. So if you're looking for something that doesn't have PFAS, toxic chemicals, or any of that other weird shit that you can't pronounce, check out Caraway. And just as a reminder, their iconic cookware set comes with a saute pan, fry pan, Dutch oven, and saucepan, plus lids for all of them, a canvas lid holder, and a magnetic pan rack for storage. It's the ultimate kitchen setup and will save you money versus buying the items individually. Plus, if you visit carawayhome.com/theskinny10, you can take an additional 10% off your next purchase. This deal is exclusive for our listeners, so visit carawayhome.com/theskinny10 or use code theskinny10 at checkout. Caraway, non-toxic cookware made modern.
All right, guys, listen up. Exciting, big news. I love to see our partners win. Branch Basics, one of our all-time favorite cleaning brands, is now available at over 600 Target stores nationwide and on Target.com. That's right, you can now pick them up during your regular Target run. For those that are unfamiliar with Branch Basics, which I don't know who you are if you're listening to this show, Branch Basics is all about redefining what clean really means. And by launching at Target, they're making it way easier for us to clean without compromise. These products are totally safe for your home, your family, and the planet, and they're now more accessible than ever. Lauren and I have been feeling great ever since we made the switch to Branch Basics in our home. The real light bulb moment for me was when we've had the founder on this podcast talking about all of the hormone disruptors, chemical cleaning supplies that we put into our home that have harmful ingredients that are going to hinder our long-term health. Why would you not use a cleaner, safer, just as effective product that is also cost-effective to replace those harmful chemical cleaning supplies? This is why Lauren and I love Branch Basics. From countertops to bathrooms, even tough stains, Branch Basics all-purpose cleaner, bathroom cleaner, and their new stain remover tackle it all. Plus, they're gentle on sensitive skin and safe for even babies and pets. So if you're tired of toxic chemicals lingering in your home, it's time to make the switch. You can grab Branch Basics products now at Target. Find their concentrate, all-purpose cleaner, bathroom cleaner, and stain remover right on the shelves. Trust me, your home and your health will thank you. Shop Branch Basics in 600 plus Target stores nationwide or Target.com. You can also use our code SKINNY15 to get 15% off at branchbasics.com/skinny15. Again, SKINNY15 for 15% off at branchbasics.com/skinny15.
You know what I don't mess around with? My prenatal. And that is why I've used the same prenatal for all 3 pregnancies. Ritual. This is a brand that I trust so much because of their integrity and their detail when it comes to what they're putting in their supplements. This one that I take has vitamins A, C, D3, and zinc. And what this does is it helps support normal immune function. It also, and this was so important to me as a pregnant woman, it has omega-3 DHA. So you want the DHA, and this is going to support fatty acid content of breast milk. And then another important ingredient, biotin, and this supports women's increased nutrient requirements during lactation. So everything is designed with the mother and the baby in mind. I like the mint one. They also have a citrus one. This is cool too. Each capsule features a delayed release design, so it makes it really gentle on an empty stomach. I am someone with aversions when it comes to pregnancy, so this was really ideal. And then every bottle includes like a citrus essence tab, so you can enjoy the multis and you're not turned off by them. Everything is non-GMO project verified. It's gluten and major allergen free. It's certified B Corp and made traceable. You can go on their site and see where everything comes from, which is really refreshing if we're being honest. When it comes to pregnancy and postpartum support, you want products backed by research and transparency. Mom-founded Ritual puts in the work and shows you the proof. Get 25% off your first month for a limited time at ritual.com/skinny. That's ritual.com/skinny for 25% off your first month. This episode is brought to you by I Stand With My Pack. This is my charity that I always talk about. It is a female-run nonprofit dedicated to rescuing animals. I'm really passionate about this charity. I've been working with them for a while, and everything is designed to prevent animal cruelty, both locally in Southern California and globally. If you are in Southern California, there is a chance to support them in person. So I Stand With My Pack is hosting an annual spring fundraiser. It's on Sunday, May 18th at the beautiful One Hotel in West Hollywood, and it's from 1 to 4 p.m. You get some light bites, refreshing drinks, and a warm community of animal lovers. There will also be, I should say this, a notable mention, adorable rescue dogs. Tickets are $200 available now at istandwithmypack.org. Every single dollar from this event, you guys, goes towards rescuing more pups in need. If you love dogs, good food, and supporting a cause that saves lives, don't miss it. istandwithmypack.org.
Going back to when you were married and you were on the show, what was it like to then do your own show with your husband and your kids and put that journey out there after you had already done Girls Next Door?
It was a very different thing.
Good or bad?
It was good. It was good. My experience filming my show after the Playboy Mansion was good. It's just I think that maybe I was, because the show's called Kendra on top, Kendra, so I had felt the pressure.
Yeah.
I felt there's an enormous amount of pressure on me to be the entertainer. So I had to entertain. I had to bring the show home. I had to be the headliner. And then, I think that caused some problems in my relationships. When the cameras turned off, it felt like very lonely, felt very like weird. And,
it felt weird to you or to your friends because you weren't performing like the WB Frog?
It was just back to reality. It was just back to reality. And when we were on the show, like I did my best to try to, I do my best to try to imitate exactly my real life. Like if a show comes to me and they're like, okay, we want you to do this today or do that today. I'm like, no, that's not what I would do. Sorry, that's not what Kendra would do. So I would like to tell my own story. So I had an amazing production team, Prometheus, who does Ancient Aliens and who did Girls Next Door, and they followed me around, and it was a blessing and a curse to do that. It was playing, we had the devil in our home, which meaning that we allowed the world into our home and
That's
the media.
tough.
And so it got really scary for a second. It got really but I knew how to be strong. I'm like, we're taking on the world, babe, let's take on the world. We're getting all this money. Like, it was all about just for me, like hustling and making that money. And like, I worked so hard. And so it was all about hustling and making as much money as possible to live our lavish lives in Calabasas. And I burned out so many times, and I guess I forgot about marriage, real life marriage. And then the marriage ended, and so I'm not saying I'm blaming myself or I'm not blaming him. I'm just blaming
It's just what happened.
Yeah. It definitely is a blessing and a curse to do TV. I think I may have put a little too much personal stuff out there. So I think that was a very dangerous thing to do.
What are you referring to? I watched the show and I can't think of something where I was like, oh, that she overshared. What do you mean?
Well, there were moments where, there was a moment where, like, there were a couple moments, that happened.
Like in your relationship with your kids, with you, or like, you don't have to tell me specifically if you don't want to. Was it with someone?
It was just raw. It was too raw. And I was so exposed, and my family was exposed, and we were all very raw, and we had raw emotions. No one was really telling me how to feel and act and what to do. And we were all just raw. And so when you're so open to the world, I mean, it's just really, it can bite you back really hard. And so there's some regret when it comes to show business.
When did you decide, like, I'm not going to put myself out there anymore and I'm going to do something else? And what did that look like? Like, what did the transition look like?
So I did a real estate show a couple years ago, and that lasted 2 seasons, and it was a great show, and we had a great time. I had severe PTSD filming that, and the audience could tell. The audience was like, whoa, like, you look a little sad. And I'm like, yeah, I'm like shaking. I'm like, while I was filming, because from the moment Kendra on Top ended till that moment, there were years. So I healed my brain in a way that wasn't meant for TV anymore. So then when TV came back, I was like, oh my God, who am I supposed to be? What am I supposed to do? Oh my God. Like, I freaked out because I don't want to make the same mistakes as I did. I don't want to, they even wanted me to go on a date with a guy. And I was like, that's not going to happen. I'm not going to go down that road again. I'm not going to put, a relationship on camera again. So those are the regrets. Like, I miss my marriage sometimes, and I love my marriage. I think that, we just played with fire and it burned us, it burned us.
I can only imagine, like, putting your marriage out there and then they pull a clip that's out of context. They edit it in with something else. They edit a face in that you made to the clip.
They did that a lot on The Girls Next Door.
And it's like
they did that a lot.
How do you win?
Yeah.
You kind of can't.
Well, I'll be honest, like, we get to speak to people who have done what you've done in different areas, and
like doing housewives or
they go through a lot.
Yeah. And, doing what we do over the years, those conversations have populated, and I always just say, like, it's a really, now that you've seen people go through it, earlier generations and people like yourself, I think it's a really tall order to put your personal life on that kind of stage and give people externally that much control and in such an intimate thing, because every
especially
relationship
with their name in the title
and every parent, like, you go through struggles, and it's hard enough to be in a private relationship. Now let you invite the world into that. And I just think, like, I don't want to say this because it doesn't happen to everyone, but the majority are set up for failure, I think.
Yeah, there were moments of filming. I should have been in therapy, and intense therapy, after certain things happened. And I instead filmed a TV show instead. And then instead of going to therapy, I would go on live TV shows crying, oh my God. And the ratings, I watched the ratings one day. It was shoot right up. And just me cry, oh my God, this happened. I was raw. I had no media talking. I would just go on live shows crying sometimes.
I think people like that about you, though.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, not that you're crying. I just think people like, and you can even tell when interviewing you, like, so many people, when they come on, there's like a guard up and they only want to say certain sentences. And you can tell there's it's like a rawness and a realness that doesn't exist a lot in Hollywood.
Yeah.
So I can understand why the ratings went up. Why did you decide to do your real estate show? Did it have to do with you started a new business and you wanted to, like, get it out there?
Yep. So I spent years, like, I'm not rich anymore. Like, I used to be like, woo, rich and all. Now I'm like, I'm like a real working person now. Like, I'm like, real estate, it's really hard, by the way.
I heard.
It's really hard. Oh my God. But I'm somehow surviving it, and it's just been, I actually love it so much. I love my real estate partner. He's what makes me, like, get up every day, and I just want to conquer another day in it. And I had a psychotic breakdown then too. Like, there was one at 4 a.m. in the morning. I was on the MLS, like, and all of a sudden, I'm like, I quit. And I wrote on Instagram, I quit real estate. Boom. And I'm like, oh shit, what did I do? Oh shit.
What happened?
Everyone's like, oh.
But then you went back to it.
And then I went back to it that same day. That I closed a deal like 2 days after that, and I was like, well, I never quit. But
what are you doing in real estate? Like, are you selling homes? Are you selling commercial? What exactly do you do?
Residential. Yeah, homes. So
and I have like a weird question. When someone is getting a house shown by you, do they ever come as a fan? Like they see you as the real estate agent and they don't have any intention of buying the house?
You know what? That has not happened yet.
Oh, let's not put that out there.
Now you're going to put that out there.
No.
It's never happened?
For some reason, things, that has not, I get a lot of prank calls. So there are a lot of people that, oh, I'm looking for a house. Can I talk to Kendra? You know, it's stupid.
Okay, so they'll call.
So they call and they try to get to me and they're like, oh, they act like they're trying to buy a house and they're not. So, it's really annoying, beyond annoying. But yeah, no, like I started the real estate show. Like I spent years off camera and I didn't know what I was going to do. I had no idea what I was going to do for a living. And here I am. I'm like, oh my God, I had savings, from my 20 years of whatever shows and stuff. So, but money was like tight. Money was So I had to figure out what I was going to do. It's either I start going to college, or I be a medical assistant or a medical, salesperson, or real estate. So I was so depressed one day. Like I was like dark after. And I was like, what am I going to do? God, what am I going to do? Oh my God, I don't know what I'm going to do. So I just drove. I got in my car. It was like early in the morning. And I just said, God, just guide me. What do I need to do? So I ended up in Westlake Village and I pulled into Keller Williams, the real estate company. And I just walk in and I'm like, and the receptionist, she's like, oh, hi, Kendra. Hi, I'm a huge fan. I'm like, oh, cool. What can we help you? And they're like, I'm like, I need a job. I need a job. What do I do? I need a job. They go, do you have your real estate license? I'm like, what's that? Are you serious? And you have to take a huge test. I'm like, no. So, I said, okay. So I got in my car and I'm like, all right, I'll start this journey. And so I just got on, I bought the books and I started studying. I read every page of the books and I passed that test the first time, which is really hard to do. And next thing you know, I get a call from HGTV and they're like, we want to follow this journey. I'm like, okay, cool. You're more than welcome. It's HGTV, why not? So
look at how you got these calls though, like when you needed them. That's weird.
It was amazing.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Like what happened to you when you were 18 and then it happened later?
God, it's God. I think that's God.
So is your full focus, daily focus on your kids and your real estate career? That's what you're focused on. There's no more TV shows in your future?
I miss TV. Like I do miss it.
You do? I thought you were going to say no way.
I miss certain aspects of it. I'm a raw person and I do deserve, like I like opening my life up I like people following me, but it's like, it's a blessing and a curse at the same time. So, but I do, obviously I like the money.
Yeah.
I love entertaining. I love to entertain. So I'm, that's what people knew me as. People are, nowadays are like, get back to who you once were. Get back to like I was a comedian, it was like I had perfect comedic timing. I was like witty. I was like, but nowadays I'm like too tired to be funny. I'm way too tired to be funny.
You're working.
I'm working. I'm a real estate agent. I'm a single mom. I'm just trying to figure it out.
Maybe after this show, a reality television producer will call you. You'll get another call out of nowhere. And they'll be like, we want to film your single mom real estate life.
I did pitch. I pitched 2 shows.
Okay. Pitch them. Pretend someone's listening.
Well, actually, guess what I did? So I had this one day. I'm a horny single person, so I go, God, that'd be so cool if I have the magic powers to have my own show. What would it be about? What's in my deepest, darkest fan? Ooh, that'd be so cool if I was a female Hugh Hefner. Right?
Oh my God, you have to do that.
So then I was like,
wait, are
oh
you
my
going to do
God.
the train? Depends on you.
Hey, yeah.
Cigar for all three.
So then I just decided, I'm like, one day I just got super horny. I was like, ooh, I'm going to pitch a show about me being a female Hugh Hefner. And then
What a bad idea.
and so we pitched it. It was called, I don't know if I should say it, but it's
Kendra
called
on top?
Yeah, pretty much. I was so mad at that title, by the way. Like I was like, this sounds like a fucking porno. But this one was called Kendra's Funhouse. And I pitched it off of my crazy, dark, sexy fantasies. And then I got a call back saying like, this could happen. And I'm like, never mind. No. I like freaked out.
You don't need to have sex with him. You could just date him.
Oh, I freaked out and I turned my own show down.
I feel like that would
couldn't
be
do it.
funny for you to just date.
Oh my God. I would do it now. I wasn't ready then.
Well, let's see who maybe the phones will
Wait,
start
hold
ringing.
on. If Kendra's Funhouse happens, can Taylor be one of the guys that you go on a date with? Taylor,
Just a
I'll
date.
be first in line.
can he be on the show as one of the suitors?
Sure. You're more than welcome.
There we go.
Literally blushing.
I'll
like
be the
he
train
looks like a
conductor.
I'm in the train
The
conductor.
train conductor.
He's beat red back there.
The train conductor.
Oh my
Choo
God.
He is
choo.
funny. He's funny. He's one of the funniest people I've ever met.
Smoke a cigar and we'll talk.
Taylor, are you a godly man, Taylor?
Give him a Cuban.
I am now.
Okay, and
I
then
am now.
what's the other one that you were going to pitch? You said there was two.
Yeah, there's another one. So there's one that's in the works right now. I don't think it's going to happen, but there's another one. It's about life transition.
Cool.
So-
So inspiring.
Yeah, it's an inspiring show.
I do actually think though you could do your like Hugh Hefner show in an inspiring way to show women like that we're empowered and we can have different options.
Girl, if you put me in a house with all these men, you think that's going to be inspiring, or you think that's going to be like
I just think it could be on your terms. Like
my terms?
it was
the devil is like God is completely like
it was on Hef's terms because he was like the train conductor in the mansion, and
I would
then
have
you
too
flip
much
it.
fun.
Yeah.
I would be having too much fun. I would embarrass the shit out of my kids.
Might be fun.
I would embarrass
I'm
my
just saying,
kids.
I'm a horrible influence.
I would have to like really buckle up and just be more conservative. And if I see like group of guys like in a house, it's on. And I would regret. You talk about regret, that would be the regret.
But you don't have to like actually go all the way. You could just date him on the
Oh,
show.
I would want to go all the way.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Well,
you know?
Taylor, did you hear that?
She's-
Taylor, she said you could come on the show and she would want to go all the way.
Is there a question? Is there a difference between an orgy and a gangbang, or are those just interchangeable?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
I guess anyone.
Taylor, you would know more about this than anyone. I
Have
know
you
what
wait,
I've
hold
seen
on,
your
Taylor,
search
have you
history.
ever done an orgy?
No, I've never.
Have you ever done a gangbang?
No, neither. I've not.
Gangbang is like a train, I think, right?
Okay. That's what I was
wait,
thinking.
hold on. This
Okay.
is a question I can't wait to see you lie. Have you ever done the Eiffel Tower with another guy?
No comment at all.
I know the story.
What's Eiffel Tower?
The Eiffel, Michael, explain it.
Don't. I don't.
Okay, it's when two guys hold
girls
hands.
in the middle, guys on one end of each. You get it?
Oh, fun.
Then they
I
hold-
don't really get how the girls on one end of each though. What's the position?
Well, the girls, the mouth and the.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
You know, I have never been someone that wants
You
two
know what? Hold on, I'm gonna
penises.
make a
I'm not
disclaimer.
a two penis kind of girl. That's too much penis
I'm gonna
for
make
me.
a
I'd rather
disclaimer.
have a girl
Hold on,
and a
I'm
guy.
gonna make a
Love
disclaimer.
penis.
Sometimes I see people listening to this show shocked about the language and the adult material. If you've made it this far into the episode and you're now upset about this, what are you doing listening this far in?
You're a peeping Tom.
Get out of here.
Oh.
So we've learned about all different kinds of things on this episode.
So
It really
much.
was a bag of checks mix. Kendra, you can come back anytime. You're great on a mic.
Oh,
you really are
thank
great
you.
on a
Thank you
mic.
for making the
Thank
trip.
I hope
That's
you
like
feel
I said.
better. She had some Spritz Society. She had the peach one
Yep.
to make her feel better.
Hair of the dog.
Hair of the dog. And I think you're fabulous and you're so honest. And it's like so refreshing to me.
Thank you.
And like I said, hero move to drive here hungover because a
With
lot
the
of people
box.
would cancel on us.
I know,
So
what am I gonna do with this box in my car? A box of puke.
Taylor will take it.
oh, gross.
I'll have the bellhop
Taylor!
come down.
He actually would help you. He will help you if
Oh
you
my
want.
god.
He is really sweet like that.
Waste removal.
He's done worse, I feel like. Where can everyone find you? What if they want to book with you for real estate? Like, where can pimp yourself
Yeah,
out?
Just just go to @Kendra Wilkinson on Instagram and shoot me a DM if you want to explore buying or selling a house with me. It'd be really fun. I have a lot of fun with my clients.
What if there's a hot single guy who's listening?
Hey, DM me. No, I get so many DMs. It's like so weird. And I
Taylor,
don't know.
what do
And
you
I get, there was one time I got, what's it called? Fished, what is it?
Catfish.
Catfish.
Yeah.
I got catfish, whitefish. I got catfish.
What, from how? How?
And I learned the hard way. It was right after divorce. I'm like, ooh, this really hot guy's like, it's so stupid.
So did you meet him in person and it was different?
No.
How'd you know you were getting catfish?
Because like, I think I was going to meet up with him, and then a friend of mine like found that it was fake or something, and I was like, oh my god. And then there was one time I talked to a fake Jason Momoa for 4 hours on the phone. Are you like?
How did you know he was fake?
It was a fake Jason Momoa.
How'd you know he was
Did he,
fake?
did he
Because
try
I-
to make himself look like
Yeah,
Jason
what gave it
Momoa?
away?
Because Jason Momoa, well, the fake Jason Momoa was like, oh, send me a picture. I'm like, you first, motherfucker. You
And?
first. I need to see your picture. Show me yourself in the
Are you
mirror.
asking for it to see his trident or his face?
And he couldn't send me a photo. I was like, oh my god, I've been talking to a fake Jason
Oh.
Momoa this whole time.
I'm surprised he didn't like go on his like profile and send you something that was like a mirror shot. No.
I know. But it was like good. It was for a good cause. Like, so
It was for charity. It was a charity.
it was
Catfish.
actually.
Oh, it's a charity.
It was.
Oh, well, if it's a charity, then
No.
then by all
No.
means.
I thought that he had a good story. He was like, oh, my neighbor is a huge fan, and he would like you to, he's a huge fan of yours, and he's dying of cancer. And I'm sitting here like, oh my god, yes. Like
I got news for you. He was the neighbor, and he didn't have cancer.
Oh my god.
Did he say the only thing that'll cheer him up or heal him is a picture of your tits?
Yeah. Then he started getting into that.
That's why
and
I'm
he's
like, where's
show me
this
a
going?
picture. I'm like,
Show
no,
us
you
your
show
balls.
me.
Are
listen,
you taking notes, Taylor, on what
Taylor,
to do?
I'm
you're
just
cut,
listening.
Taylor, you're cut off. You're cut off. You're cut off back there. And you're getting too
So I
riled
don't
up.
trust the internet. I don't trust it.
Yeah,
You
I
can't
wouldn't
trust the
it either.
internet. Kendra, thank you so much. for
Thank
coming.
you so much for having me. That
Kendra,
was
thank you.
awesome.